that I was just going to verbalize for the people that get in early uh, to this, that in June, the metamorphosis, to steal a word you were using before, the metamorphosis of client relationship manager, rep marketing center, how this thing has evolved and grown and it just became this amoeba over the years to where it was like, oh my God, they're never going to get this right for us, to holy Hannah, this is really kind of working out really pretty good. The future of what this looks like. A lot of us on the call are part of the field working group. And once or twice a month, we get on with a bunch of people and have conversations, and they come up with ideas, and we come up with ideas, and they listen, and they do. Coming in June, I mentioned before that nothing for us guys and gals that have been around for a while, man, nothing is going to take the place of um, uh, that face-to-face personal relationships kind of thing. It just isn't going to happen. The automated robotic kind of stuff is great to keep us in touch, and be one of the loudest voices in their ears, and that's wonderful, but nothing's going to take the place. Now, with that said, I don't remember who said it, but whether we like it or not, social media is here to stay, man. There's nothing we're going to do about that, and we can either get on board with it or not get on board with it. The choice is ours. But coming in June, what the company did, because they listen, what the company did is there's going to be, we're going to introduce automated lead generation using Primerica Social. So just a quick example of that. So let's say I take one of the platforms that I'm on. So Facebook, I post something on Facebook that home office developed, and in the body of it is going to say, hey, if you want some more information, DM me or send me your email and blah blah blah. And then what home office did, and you'll be able to get this on POL. There'll be PDF files of documents that you could send them that's directly related with that particular campaign that you put out. You know, and really, lead generation, meaning that if somebody sees it on your social media and they want more information, that is a lead. Now, that is different than a referral, right? You understand? A referral is Tommy's a client of mine. I said, Tommy, man, we don't do any advertising. The best way that, for me to be able to stay in business and do business is, to get names of people that need to hear this, just like you. You're satisfied, you love what we did for you and your family, blah, blah, blah. They can make up their own mind, yada, yada, yada. That's a referral. He gives me a name. Hey, Pam, you don't know me. My name is Jack Spolsky. Tommy Lee asked me to give you a call. He said you'd be the perfect person for Primerica. That's different than lead generation on social media. Let me tell you something, boys and girls. What the company is going to release for us in June, and they're still working on making this thing live, is going to blow you away. Blow you away. So it really makes sense. For those of you on the call right now, we didn't really kind of officially get started yet, but there's 350 of you on the call. Every Tuesday morning, man, you ought to get one or two or three people from your team to log in if they can, or at least log in sound wise and stick their earbud in if they're at work and they can't make it, and cheat a little bit or go to the bathroom at work or something. I'm kidding, but you know what I mean. You got to figure out whatever you got to figure out to win, right? So, so we're excited about that. Um, Comments on that, Pam? I mean, and I didn't want to create more questions than anything, but I'm
No,
still.
the comment I have is use what the social media has right now. And so it'll be a streamlined process when it's automated. Right now, the difference is when it's not automated is you take the people that have asked you for the manual process, you're sending them something, and you manually put them in CRM. And I purposely said manually a few times because this is going to take the manually out of it, and it's going to automate the process of sending them the PDF document and putting them in a custom list in your CRM.
So when they
Now we're
re
teasing
so when
you
they
with this.
request it, it's automatically go in there for you. Okay.
Correct. And they'll automatically be in a custom list. So this is to let you know start the process now, and that we are working on new and improved things in the.
Awesome. Okay, boys and girls, good morning, Primerica. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jack Sapolsky. I am in Deerfield Beach, Florida. It is a unbelievably chilly 57 degrees down here. That's why I'm wearing my jacket. I'm being facetious, and for those of you that are freezing your tails off, I'm sorry. I hope you get through this safely. We've got a great, great show for you today. Probably one of my all-time favorite teachers, who's been around in this company for a long time, is Tommy Lee. I just absolutely love what he teaches, the way he teaches. I'm excited for you on the call to listen to what he's got to say. And then we've got the great Ron Leynes is going to get on, and he's got a 125-part series that he's going to do with 9,422 slides. So get ready. So this is going to be a fun event. So with that said, hey, are we recording? How do I know if we're recording or not? We're not, are we? So I guess I got to go into more, go into record and record to the cloud.
Recording in progress.
There we go. So unfortunately, that recording is not going to be that great introduction I gave you, Tommy. Sorry about that. It's not going to be recorded, but so virtually put your hands together for the great Tommy Lee.
Thank you so much, Jack. I appreciate it. I have not been on here in a while, but start plugging back in. The first step today is just a client example. CRM has really changed my business over the last, I don't know, over the last 6 years. And building what does it stand for? Client relationship managers, right? That's really what it does. It really helps us stay in touch with people, which I'm going to cover that for 10 minutes today after this client example. But everything that I do is like really just to get 3 to 4 appointments a day, doing that 3 to 4 days a week. I really think that, you're not going to have to kill yourself, and you're going to be able to make $25,000 to $50,000 a month sooner or later once you get a team going. If you have a system in place that you can duplicate yourself, of course. But I came across, I'm going to use the nicknames of this client is, first of all, Alex and Melissa. Alex, when I first met him, Alex and Melissa, I met him through a referral, and all part of CRM and everything. But Alex was about 28 years old at the time, and Melissa was a little older, maybe around 36 or 38 years old, somewhere around there, a little older. And the phone call went pretty. You probably would have just hung up the phone because he was effing me over the phone because he had a universal life insurance policy when I called him. And he said, I'm good. I have an investment. I'm in this universal life. I'm paying $250 a month. And I said, just, that's really not the best type of investment, whatever. And I said, just give me 15 minutes in your house just to share with you and your wife. And if you don't like what I have to say, I'll leave. And he did let me in the house. So make a long story short, I was responsible to get him up to from 200,000 of life insurance to 1.6 million, okay, with Primerica. Now, through a couple of years, he dropped everything and went, sideways with me, like some recruits do. But we were able to get him back $500,000. It was in force for about a year. I did not know he had $1 million policy with AIG. Okay, so this is a very important point. So $1 million with AIG, $500,000 with Primerica. 1 year later, he has a myocardiac arrest and dies almost to the day of when the policy was written. Okay, get a phone call from his father. Alex just passed. We found out it was from the vaccination or whatever. He had that a couple months before. The guy was in phenomenal shape. He had a preferred plus policy with Primerica. So takes a little time to get the death claim in California. Okay, so it took a little while, but from the day we got the death claim, Primerica pays the death claim in 6 days. Okay, $500,000, boom, right in Melissa's account. AIG is going on and on and on. Whether I'm not here to bash AIG, okay, but I had to get. It took over 5 months to where I get to the point where I spoke to probably 10 different supervisors. Nobody communicates with the death claim department on AIG. They're not allowed to. The supervisors are not allowed to talk to the death claim department. The runaround. I was so PO'd that because I'm making phone calls. And by the way, the AIG agent is nowhere to be found. Okay. I'm orchestrating everything. We're important to be in communication with the client at this time because, you have a widow with 2 kids, that has like $30,000 left in her bank account, and a husband that's not coming back anytime soon. You have a lot of mental challenges that she's dealing with, a lot of stress, so anyway, I get Primerica involved. I now Bobby Peterman gets me a number of somebody named Maureen. I give a call to Maureen and I look down on my phone. I'm like, this woman's name is in my phone. I don't know how. And then I'm like, Maureen, I don't know who you are, but I know you work for AIG. I heard you're a big wig there. And Maureen says, I don't know who you are, but your number's in my phone. So I'm like, what's going on here? I said, I have no idea. Comes to, that Maureen used to work for Travelers way, way back. And I was at a party on her golf course up in Connecticut 25 years ago. And I said, oh my God, Maureen, I remember you. You had the lobsters all in your backyard and we had so much fun. I said, all right, listen, here's a story. I told him what AIG, I said, your company, I'm sorry, is the worst that I've ever dealt with. Like nobody is helping my Missy. I'm using her nickname. Okay. You guys owe them $1 million and they're just jerking everybody around here. And I'm pretty pissed off, so Maureen promised me, she says, listen, this death claim will be paid in 3 days. I didn't believe it, but that death claim was paid in 3 days. Melissa had $1 million in her checking account on top of the $500,000 on top of, so she had about a total of 1.6 million. And now Alex is gone, but the 1.6, now they owed $100,000 to Alex's mother. Okay, I call her Yo-Yo. Okay, her nickname for Yolanda. Her name is Yolanda. Okay, but anyway, I don't want to disclose any names here, but we were able to pay $100,000 off to Yolanda, where Melissa was paying them $2,000 a month when Alex was alive, just to pay her back. So now she's debt free. Okay, debt free, $1.5 million left. Just check this out. We take now her family tells her, don't do anything with Tommy, go buy a ranch in the mountains and this and like they would have blew through that money like crazy if I was not involved. Missy said, I'm dealing with Tommy. Tommy delivered for me. I'm dealing with him investment wise. We take a $1 million and we diversify portfolio, diversify it really nice. And she's been receiving $5,000 a month for the last 4 years. Okay. Now the account grew from 1 million to 1.4 million. Okay. During the process, taken out. So we scooped out $400,000, put it into another investment. So now she's got $1.4 million there. And we take a $250,000 check and put that into an annuity. Now she's got a total of $650,000 of annuities that will be worth $3 million by the time she's 60. Her two kids both have accounts set up that will have $500,000 in them by the time they're 20. Okay. So got two kids that are $500,000 at 20. Melissa is going to have 3 million plus $1 million. So she's going to be worth about $5 million by the time she's 60. And she's living off the dividends, saving her money, traveling around she has not had to work for any reason whatsoever. Now I'm recruiting her into the business because her story is so powerful. And I just had her do a conference call for my team, and just asked her to just share with her how she's been treated. Okay, because how you serve people is what you deserve for success. Okay, so anyway, there's a lot of other things that happen during the process, but for you, this woman does not have to work for money. She does not have to worry about when money's coming in. If she wants to go buy a house, she has an extra $250,000 in her checking account, which I told her, I said, wait, now mortgage license, going to do mortgage. Each client that you develop over time, if you keep them as a lifetime client, okay, it will pay you about, as an RVP, at least about $50,000 over 40 years. Okay, so if you develop 500 clients, 5 times 5, that's going to equal about $25 million of cash flow to you, even as you're recruiting and building a team, because recruiting is a process, and it takes time. I mean, we have 9 or 10 RVPs, but that those people develop over time, okay, and they have to have winning habits, and they have to really be disciplined. So you'll get there. I mean, don't worry about it. The recruits will become RVPs if you put them in the right position. But on the other side, developing a client and having CRM is just like so quick. You can develop clients, hundreds of clients a year, if you just got busy and controlled your activity and stayed disciplined. But I'm saying the power of what I did for Melissa and Alex is just unbelievable, because people ask Melissa all the time, like, how do you travel all over the place? And like, you're never working. Like, she had to almost make like an excuse of how wealthy she is and what she has going. And I said, don't do that. Tell people that you had a financial guy and you relied on somebody, and the guy came through, and something happened. I am totally financially set because of us. Okay. The other guy would not have done the same thing. So if somebody got a cheaper life insurance policy and it was $10 a month cheaper, or $15 or $20 a month cheaper, is it better to go with Banner, okay, and they got a real cheap policy, or is it better to come with me? Like, I don't care if it's $100 more a month for life insurance, getting Tommy Lee to do your financial plan, like, you're going to be way better off. Price is not an issue in the absence of value, so anyway, let me just share my screen here. Can I share it real quick? I hope that story meant something to you, because it meant a lot to Missy, and God bless Alex. And can you guys see my screen here?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So here's the CRM right here. So you say, my God, we got so many things here, like you got the dashboard, right? Well, I mean, if you go to dashboard here and you go to birthdays, okay, and you go to this month, we got 16 pages of 10, which is 160 people a month getting their birthday wish, okay? Getting touch, like 160 a month. Like, how many people can you remember their birthday? Okay. But CRM is automatically going to remember the birthday once you get your contacts in here in February. Let's just take a look. In February, we have 12 pages, so 120. Okay. In December, we had 15 pages, 150 birthdays. Okay. So if you go down to preferences here, and you go to automatic, and then there's a lot of clicks. Okay, click, click, click. But you should spend some time in here and just see what's going on. Like, say, well, what is this automated campaigns? Like, what is this? Well, if you look right here, I have birthdays are included. And if you see here, I have prospects. Yeah, well, prospects are people that are not clients, right? But if I get their birthday, I want them getting a birthday as well. Okay. Same thing with holidays. I have all the US holidays clicked off here. Martin Luther King Day just came about, and a nice little thing went out. Uh, every single holiday. Why do we want every single holiday? I want them getting touched. Like the Super Bowl is coming. Okay. So have you guys seen the Super Bowl thing? Like, have you used that? Like, that's another topic to talk about. Okay. If we wish them, hey, happy Super Bowl Sunday coming up, those that, and they open it, oh man, that guy thought of me again. That guy Jack thought of me again on Labor Day. Oh my God, I can't believe Jack just remembered my birthday. I can't believe Jack remembered Veterans Day. Like, and then guess what? When I get laid off on my job and I have $100,000 to roll over, what do I think of? I said, man, I think I should call Jack. Okay. And boom, I'm calling Jack, and Jack's getting a rollover. Like, I got a bunch of rollovers in for this month. I think we're close to $2 million of business. Like, I was not that big of a producer of securities, but last year I calculated all the securities that we did, including internal like rollovers, but new money was almost $5 million. And how about that bonus the other night? Oh my God. Incredible. The company gives us an extra bonus for all the production. Uh, but but we did about $9.5 million total, which is awesome. Okay. But a lot of stuff is coming because people are getting in touch. So if I go in here, so these are all the preferences. Now, I'm not a Canadian, so I don't want my Canadian. I'm not going to include the Canadian holidays. Okay. Nothing against Canada, but Canadians probably don't have US holidays either. Okay. It's just however you want to structure it. Like, I want the solution newsletter. I want automated thank yous coming out. Like, every time I develop a client, they automatically get a thank you. Now, this is powerful stuff, guys. If you're not using this, like, I just don't think that you're smart enough to remember to thank everyone every single time. Like automation matters. Okay. AI is part of what we're doing too. Is like, that's gonna help. Okay. Whether you use it or not. The reminder of an annual review, yeah, absolutely. Reminder of follow-up, yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's some new ones over here. But I don't even know what these are. Okay. But there's so much to this. But then you say, well, what is landing pages? What is that about? Okay. Oh, you don't even know that you had to get them approved and everything, right? Like, I have all mine approved. But if you like a landing page, you want to copy the wealth one, just take a look at this. You could view everything. Look at this, $90 trillion in generational wealth being transferred in North America. You can copy this and put it on your Facebook account. They could listen to Mike Presser or John Lavin or like Rick Miller, Collis Temple, and then if you connect it to your Calendly, they could schedule an appointment, like right here. Boom! It's all professional. It's so funny because I have Calendly. I don't even set my own appointments. I just send a link over to people, and then boom, they book the appointment. But I provide the value, and but anyway, there's a lot of other things over here. I'm running out of time, but reports, you can go into that. You can go into help, training, the whole 9 yards over here. but getting your contacts in here and then qualifying them and spending some time in here is really important. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Jack.
Unbelievable, Tommy. Thank you so much, man. I mean, that story is just absolutely ridiculous. Um, so let me now bring in Ron. Fasten your seatbelts, boys and girls. I know that he's gonna fly through this, but it'll make sense. I promise it'll make sense. Ron, it's all yours, buddy. Take it away,
All
man.
right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Greetings from 18 inches of snow over the weekend in State College, Pennsylvania. So we had it's in the teens right now, 13 degrees or something like that. So we are good. So let me go ahead and switch to my presentation here. But yeah, so as Jack said, hang on to your hats. This is not, I apologize in advance for anybody that's here for the very, very first time. Take some time to go back and learn some of the basics. So my topic today is going to be about beyond the basics and how you can use your CRM to build your dream business. And yes, I can post this later on if you need to. So, all right, warning first. Today's training may help you run an efficient, time-saving, high-quality business to properly serve more clients or associates effectively. This will be a scenario-based use of the CRM, and I'm assuming that you guys already know some of the basics. And this will kind of give you an idea as far as an actual case scenario and how you start applying the different tools within the CRM system. And how many times we're always told to create a duplicatable system, right? Well, what I realize is that if it's not written down, it's not duplicatable, or it's going to take a ton of your time trying to duplicate yourself. So the CRM system is really an excellent tool to be able to help facilitate what you want to do. So before I kind of get into my topic, I have a couple of quotes. I was recently at the Milton Hershey Museum, and this quote stood out to me. And Hershey, everybody knows Hershey around the world. Give them quality. That's the best kind of advertising in the world. And I think we really need to look at that and create a quality experience for our clients. And then they'll tell people, and then they'll tell people, and then they'll tell people. And again, the best way, like Tommy's example there, was being able to track it, keep everything in front of you. So that way, you can build trust with people better. If you can remember different milestones or things that are important to them, right? It's not about us, it's about them. I know to the Indiana Hoosiers out there, I'm not going to read this whole quote, but the will to win is not nearly as important as the will to prepare to win. Okay, most of us are trying to set all these massive goals, but are we willing to prepare to win? I'll read this last one here, because once the game or test or project is underway, it's already too late to prepare to win. You're already engaged. So today will help you. It might be a little bit boring for some, but we'll help you prepare for the future. And this is a recent quote that came to me from Atomic Habits. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Yeah, you might want to make $100,000 or $200,000, but if your system doesn't support that, not likely going to happen. Okay, so what we're going to do is just kind of go through that, help you develop some of the systems to be able to elevate you to that level. And one thing I'm doing for myself is rewriting that for myself. So if all of you back in TV land want to read this to yourself, say this to yourself out loud, right? I do not rise to the level of my goals. I fall to the level of my systems. So hopefully today we can help you bridge that gap. And all that really means is that success isn't about setting big goals, but about creating effective daily systems and habits that naturally lead to those goals. And we're all big believers in high tech with high touch. I want everything all in one place to make it easy. All right. So that's my prelude. Here's the agenda. I'm only going to cover this first section there. If they invite me back, I'll work on some of the other ones later. But today we're going to talk about prospecting basics and how to use the CRM to build your dream business. And I'll kind of pause in between, Jack, if you have any questions. But I do have a lot of slides here. All right, prospecting basics. So think of your different scenarios, and then we're going to go through just some examples of using the tool. Okay, and then again, task lists, very important tool. I'll show you maybe something unique with this that you may not be familiar with, and it's a great system of following up. Now, back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember this. That's the old index card tickler system, and if you look there, they got all the months labeled on these cards. We'd have these little index cards. We'd have all the months of the day, right in here. And I would literally have Jack Sapolsky, I'd write down on the card, I'd put a date and say, all right, I got to follow up on this day. Boom, slide it in that date. And then when I come to that date, I pull it out. Oh, time to call Jack. Then I reach out to him. I put left a message, or I talk to him, whatever. But that's what we do, and then just kind of rotate through the system, and that was very, very effective. I mean, some of you in TV land probably remember that tool. Well, today we have a much better system because these cards are not necessarily portable unless you drag them around with you all the time, and sometimes you might leave home without it and you forget, and like, oh my gosh, I should have called that person. So jump into today's system, and I'm using my friend Fred Flintstone that I just met in this scenario. Okay, so here's our new dashboard. And I got some of the related contacts on the right-hand side there with Wilma, his best friend Barney, and daughter Pebbles, and Betty on there on the right-hand side. Some of you remember who the Flintstones are. And you can see I added the company on the bottom right. He works for the Slate Rock and Gravel Company. He's an employee there, runs a Bronto crane or something like that. Okay. So now I want to just add a task, all right? Because I met him at a networking event last week. We're going to click and add a task. This window pops up. And then, of course, we're going to focus on these areas to kind of add the task, add the category, and add a description. Now, part of the preparation is making sure you have a naming convention for how you want to list the task names, all the different categories you want, and again, your description system. So I just have an example of what I put in there. Schedule an initial meeting, right? Because I just met them. And the category I made is prospect-recruit. And if you look at my list, I have prospect-investments, prospect-insurance, prospect-whatever, 401k, financial, but I just have a naming convention with prospect up front, so I know it's prospecting, and I have a specific color for that. And if you look here, I just made an additional note like I used to do on the index cards. I just wrote down the date, okay? Met him at a networking event, okay? And then put out a reminder at the bottom as far as when to follow up with them, okay? So in this case, it was yesterday, 26th. Now what I did is I clicked on the task list. So as I go through and start accumulating this, you'll start to see your list show up. Now, here's the thing that I recently found out. This is pretty cool, and I don't know if you've seen this or not. But if you right-click on the name, okay, and then you have a couple of options. You can either open it in a new tab, split view, or open it in a new window. So if you got multiple monitors, the new window would work. But in my case, I had the split view, and here's what comes up. So I have the task list on the left-hand side with the contacts I have and the phone numbers right there. So I can go through and hit the phone numbers. But then on the right-hand side, I can edit the contact card. Okay. And so since I just created that initial task list, all right, as I call them up and say, hey, Fred, or try to reach out to them, I would click on that. Okay. Then I'll go through and edit my notes. All right. And so I left the message. So LM was my code, right? LM, left message on mobile phone. And then what I would do is I would adjust the due date at the bottom. So I follow up with them next week, just like I used to do with the index cards. All right. So there's a new date. You hit save. Boom. And then what you have to do is click on the action button, hit refresh just to kind of clean this up. And you'll see the date from the January 26th. You'll see a new date come up. And then you can see on the left-hand side, same thing, it's still the 26th. But once you refresh them, then you'll see the new date on the left is now February 2nd, next week. And as well as the task list right here, February 2nd, for next week. And then you can see at the bottom here, my additional notes just kind of showing up. So that way I'm able to do what I used to do with the index card, just kind of following up. Okay. Now the next person I have scheduled to call is Barney. Okay, his friend that I met at the same networking event. And what we're going to do is we're going to send him a campaign because we're following him on the next day. So now you can see the left-hand side with the task list, the right-hand side with Fred. If I do the same thing with Barney Rubble, right click on his name, click on the open in the right view, boom. Barney shows up on the right-hand side. So now I can kind of keep things going down the list, right? Because we're always taught work the list, work the list, work the list, but then I can edit things without leaving the list. And it saves a ton of time because if you don't do this, then you're having to flip tabs and you have to go back, and it just takes a lot longer time to do that. So with Barney, we're going to send him a campaign. Okay, now I don't know if he's going to be a recruit. I don't know if he's invested. I don't know what he's interested in. So we'll click on campaign. And if you look at manage campaigns, down the bottom here, you'll see send a campaign. And if you scroll down a little bit, you click on the automated, and then I'm going to do a recruiting. And if you click on the one-on-one recruiting or any of these links as an example, you can see in preview what is going to be sent out. Boom, that's what looks good to me. Then I can either schedule it for the future or send it right away. Okay, there we go. So let me pause there for a moment. Jack, any questions or thoughts about that so far?
No, but I do have a comment though, Ron. We got 526 days before the convention, and all I can tell you, these 805 people that are on here, man, when you see Ron, give him a hug, man. You have no idea how long it takes, the work that it takes to build this PowerPoint that he's going through with you right now. I know because I build PowerPoints. Ron knows, Ron and I talk. Okay, we build stuff and it can take up a ton of time. Ron does not get paid for this, just like when Jody does or Pam does what they do on this thing, man. So, bro, are you kidding me? Just keep going. Whatever the questions are, we'll get them later, man. Keep going. We don't want to miss this.
All right, great. But so far, so good. Do you use that split screen thing?
Yeah, make sure you put it out there because they are blowing up the chat, man, with you taking this and putting it out on Telegram.
Great.
Please.
All right. Continued. All right. I think I'm about a third of the way through. So next thing is custom list. Right now I have Fred and Barney. So again, on the right-hand side, if you just click on custom list, right? Select that. I made a new custom list called Bedrock Prospects. Add to the custom list. Click on that. Then I started searching for the name, okay, for Flintstone, and I just marked Fred and Wilma. Although we have to fix that because I have his nickname as Fred, not Frederick, but we got to fix that. Add selected contacts. Saved. Boom. They show up. Right? Then I want to add more contacts to it, which will be Barney and Betty. Okay, so I start searching for Rubble. Their names show up. I check the boxes. Boom, they're in. Add them to the list. Okay. So what do we do if, let's say, one of them wants to become a potential new associate? That'll be Fred in this scenario. So you can see now the list on the right-hand side. And here's a little Easter egg for you, is that I wanted to put letters in the phone number here. So the 7625 is actually the acronym for ROCK. So it's 44 ROCK, 555 ROCK, etc. Those of you will get that. All right. So next, what am I doing here? So now I follow with Fred, right? So on the left-hand side, next day, my next meeting with him, I get to talk to him on the phone this time. Here's how I could use quick information or quick info on the top right of his contact card. Make my little notes. Boom. Then I'm going to work on adding tags so I can track them. So this could be where, let's say if you're doing the social media thing, if that's the lead that you got from them there, or one of your landing pages, or whatever you want to put tags on and how you got the lead, great. Okay. So it shows up there on the bottom right. Then we're able to schedule a meeting in the future. So I can click on meeting. set up a time, make the note, save, boom, it shows up under his contact. Okay. And what I want to do next is update this task up on top here. So it says schedule initial meeting. Well, I just did that. Okay. So I'm going to now go click on the schedule initial meeting, edit it, add the notes, put out a new date. Okay. And a specific time to match the meeting, save it. And so now instead of it saying schedule initial meeting, it now says initial meeting scheduled, and I upgraded the priority from low to medium, right? Because now we're actually meeting with them. Again, it's just a system to think about in terms of how you want to use this and kind of get into a routine. The nice thing is that once it's saved, you can add it to your calendar. Now, I know somewhere in the future, we're going to have that capability within the Primerica system, but for right now, I believe you can sync it up to like a Google Calendar or what have you. And then you can see here in the task list, it's still the original thing. So what I have to do is refresh and reload these pages, but then you'll see the update right here, where now it's initial meeting scheduled with a medium priority, the new meeting date, etc. And they're just showing you what the new update is on the left-hand side there. Right. And then from here, you can do other things in the list here as well. So fast forward, let's say I meet with them and Jackie says, great, I'm interested. I want to join the team. Now here's something I'm not sure people know about, but did you know that you can go to your Primerica business page and have somebody fill out an IBA right online? All right, here you go. All I have to go to your Primerica business page. And this is mine. You scroll down a little bit. You'll see this little box says join my team. So either I can do it on my device and hand it over to them, or I can give them my landing page or my Primerica business page, and they click on it. Doesn't matter. Here an IBA pops up. How cool is that? Yep. And they can fill it out while you're right there. Or if you're on Zoom, same thing. Now, if you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is go to your POL page, click on the My Rep website there, go in, scroll down, right there. Check the box, update your website. Done. That's how you do that. Cool. All right, so I have another scenario here. I'm going to pause real quick for any questions. Is this too fast, Jack?
Nope.
Good, get it? All right.
Yep.
So now let's just say the other person is a potential, oh, good, Pam.
A lot of them are getting caught up on how did you do the split screen?
You have to go back and right click on their name in the task list and then open it up as a separate tab or a split screen or another window. So if you've got multiple screens, but you have to right click on the name.
Okay, I wasn't sure where you were. I knew.
Yeah. So here, I'll go to the next screen and show you. It's actually right here. Thanks for setting it up. So this scenario, we're going to with Barney. He's going to be our investment client. So again, right click on the name under your task list. And again, the options there, is open it in a new tab. You do a split screen or a new window. All right. In this case, I have a pretty big monitor, so I just have split screen, and then it shows up on the right-hand side. Does that help? Okay, great. So then with Barney, same thing. We reach out to him. We have a low meeting. We have an initial meeting. I give him a call. Right. So I'm editing his contact information here now. Okay. And we talked and said, hey, he wants to schedule a meeting tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Great. I'll update the address there on the bottom, or the date and time on the bottom, 10 o'clock. Hit save. Boom, updated. Initial meeting scheduled. Oops, I forgot. It's a Zoom meeting. So I go back, I hit edit, update the Zoom meeting, update the language in the notes, and there you go. So under his contact card, you'll see the initial Zoom meeting scheduled. And I missed something here again. It's a low priority, but I go back in and I edit that too. Make it a medium priority. And it's going to be an investment F&A Zoom meeting. Okay, because it's not an initial meeting. It's just because I talked to him over the phone. He's like, yeah, I'm interested in doing an investment, an F&A, whatever. So again, you can go back in, update your notes, make it a higher priority, refresh your screen, and everything gets updated, on the right-hand side, and you have to reload the left-hand side to get to where you need to get to. Much like I did with Fred, I'm going to go back in and just add the different tags particular to that specific client. And that's that. So the next part of it is
let's pause for a second, Ron,
pause.
because this could be like drinking from a fire hose.
Mm-hmm.
You look at this, and all along we've been, Aaron comes on and he goes through the 7 steps, the basics of setting up the CRM, and Pam goes through the demos on how to, and Jody talks about what she's doing and stuff like this, and you've titled this Beyond the Basics. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're showing here is the possibilities and what exists, that if you really do take your time to learn this, and I'm not talking about prime time when you're supposed to be out doing appointments and stuff like that. I'm talking about maybe getting up earlier in the morning or staying up later at night or whichever, where there's downtime. Learn this. You can't screw this up. All you can do is improve it. You understand? You can't click the wrong button and go, oh crap, I think I just ruined the whole system. No, 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 no. You refresh, you start over again, and you learn it. And the point, I think, is that it wasn't just, this is not just about that Rolodex card, the index cards and the system. This is that system completely and totally on steroids. And what I'm getting out of this, for me, is that if I really take the time to um, properly identify and put in the information of every single person I talk to, what this can evolve into, what this will evolve into, is an absolute gold mine. Because I remember one of our co-CEOs, I think it was, used to say that you mine the gold in the walls, that you don't have to dig deep for it, it's there. Right? Yes. I mean, am I right in that evaluation, Ron?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the system that I was referring to. Yes, we have the goals and stuff like that, but we need the systems and the follow through, like the fortunes and the follow up. But if you forget about them, then there's no follow up. If you don't give yourself reminders, you're going to lose it or forget about it. So yeah, exactly. And I love this thing on the left-hand side with the task list, is that the phone number is right there. If I had a longer list, I can just go through the list. It's like, all right, Barney, boom, click, update on the right-hand side, next, call, right? So if I have 20 names on the left-hand side, I can block schedule and just go through and quickly update, or my office manager can go through and update the right-hand side and without losing track where I'm at on the left. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and this is something, if you don't have an office manager, still something you could do on your own. Okay.
Absolutely.
Pam, you got a question?
Well, how do you take yourself out of the split screen once you're in one?
I just close a tab on the top.
Thank
Yeah, there's a second tab that shows up, and you just click the one. I cut
sorry
it
to
out of my
interrupt.
screenshot, but there is a second tab you can close it.
Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
No problem. Yeah, I'll be able to fit this in on time. I'm excited about it. So, all right. So it's still an investment client. Now what we want to do is add onboarding and a review task in for the 90-day review, at least the initial meeting. So again, just some additional tasks to go through. Welcome email or mail templates that you may already have. A different category. Okay. So again, I have a whole onboarding list. So onboarding for new investment client, onboarding for new insurance client, or whatever, is a high priority, because again, we want to make sure we get these things out. Again, send welcome Again,
And
this is
those are
just an
all custom
example.
categories that you made, yes?
What's that?
That's a custom category that you made.
Custom category.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, just want to make sure.
Part of the preparation. So we have that. And Pam, do you have your hand for the same question, or is it a different question? Okay, we're good.
Was the same
right.
question.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I wasn't missing something. So anyway, so there you go. So once you have that, you can see it's updated in your master list on the left-hand side, and as well as your contact card on the right-hand side. But then I also want to have another task where I can do my follow-up. Okay, we're going to schedule this 3 months into the future. Different custom tag I have. It's called follow-up 3 months. Okay, and I have a couple different follow-up 4 months, follow-up 6 months, follow-up 12 months. So those are custom categories as well. Okay, check with the client 90 days from now. So this is set for May. Boom. Now it shows up on your screen on the left and your screen on the right. So that way you or your office staff can follow up with them and just make sure they're taken care of. And you can also see in the top right, I added some additional information and quick information. So again, it's all right here for you to leverage, and this will help you do this. Now, this is the last section before I wind up for the final Q&A. So now, same investment prospect. Let's talk about the new opportunities pipeline. Right. So again, clicked on opportunities, and here are the different areas that I would fill in. Okay. Boom, all filled in. Now, a future release where more people have access to it. I'm a beta user, so we have access to different pipelines that are available. And I'll show you that in a second, but I just wanted to demonstrate that it shows up right underneath the contact card with Barney on the bottom right with rollover 401k. And if I were to click on that, here's the overview of what I entered on that previous screen. Okay. And again, so you can really decide how much of this you want to use or not use. I just sort of want to give a high level in terms of what things look like. And then of course, with the activity feed, the initial, okay, we're just at the application stage, and you can kind of see across the top, the different stages that I created for it. Okay. And then with it, if you go to the opportunity, so if you hit the little $ on the left-hand side, you'll be able to have the ability to customize some of these settings. So under type, click on add custom type. Here are the default ones. You can add to it. Source, same thing. How did you find that opportunity? You can add some. I added the chamber networking event at the bottom, as well as business prospecting. And then notice we have the social media thing right here. So that could be another thing for when that becomes available to Summerjack, et cetera. And then there's amount type and other pipelines that you can go through.
So, and those pipelines, you actually built in workflows, correct?
I don't have workflows yet. No, I just kind of was using it as a way to track where the business is or what phase they're in.
Okay.
In the process.
No, I mean up on that top ribbon where you have application DocuSign. That's a workflow, yes?
Nope, no, it's in opportunities. Sweet. Yeah, so these are steps that you don't have available. Like most people don't have access to it right now. It's just the 5 default, where it's qualify but you'll be able to customize the opportunities pipeline.
For Jack's clarification, a workflow is something different. We have steps in the workflow. In opportunities, we have pipeline steps.
Got it.
Because you're going forward and backward, we can't deviate from that. It's a pipeline flow.
Yep, correct.
I got to upgrade my pay grade, bro.
Yeah. So here's the pipeline flow. So then as it goes through from the application stage, in managed accounts, then I would just, then it would get a DocuSign stage. Then did they complete it? So I can kind of drag it from one column to the next as we go through. Okay. And I'm wrapping up here. So again, going back to the beginning, I do not rise to the level of my goals. I fall to the level of my systems. And hopefully I gave you a sneak peek to what's possible just with the first phase, the prospecting phase of the business and how you can use the CRM. The future iterations that I'll have, we'll be talking about onboarding a client, when they're taking the application, how do you create systems to follow through with that? Then once they are a client, then there's a whole servicing process, et cetera. And then cross-selling other products and services and staying in touch with them. So what can we do now? Again, my great mentor, Bill Whittle, TAN, take action now for you in the audience. Train your teams to use their CRMs daily. Have them check in every single day. Okay, use it. Some daily habits or systems, add new contacts, follow up with the contacts, and update the contacts. Pretty simple. Add new ones, follow up with them, update the information, repeat. I also recommend creating small groups in your hierarchy or base shop. And if you have office staff, with their office staff as well, work together. Come up with a list of how you guys do things. And the thing is, if you take the time to build it, rather, it's okay to copy and follow, but you really want to take ownership of it, because then you get the buy-in from yourself. This is your system. And you're going to work it and fine tune it to the way you see that works for you and your business, which is fine. And again, there's a lot of different tools, and I'm just listing some of them. But you as a group decide, how do you want to use the task categories? What color codes do you want to have with it? You can create task templates, the different tags you want to use. There's different workflows that are available with the templates, the opportunity pipelines, notes, custom lists in the Rep Marketing Center. Oh my gosh, the Rep Marketing Center and the tools you'll be able to create out of that. Okay. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
That was a master class, buddy. And I don't say that often, but that was a master class. I personally have a request, Ron, that if you post this in a PDF format, it's not the same as posting it in PowerPoint. Because in PowerPoint, we're able to hit enter and actually see the progression, and we won't be able to
Oh yeah,
see.
they're all in separate slides, Jack.
Yeah,
I did that
okay.
with the intention of being able to share it. So those are all separate slides.
Well, all I can do is promise the 775 people on here that are looking forward to seeing parts 2 through 512. I'm sure that we will get Ron back on here, and hopefully we can talk home office into putting this into the Beyond the Basics series by Ron Leynes. I already got it named, okay, and I'm going to rally for it. So I'm going to lobby for it, buddy. I got some pull, not much, but some. Pam, you want to make a closing remark before I shut this down?
Not a closing remark, a closing request of Ron. Everybody wants your custom categories. If you could take screenshots and put those in the chat, the Telegram group, entirely up to you.
Okay, I can put together a list.
But it was asked at least a dozen times.
Okay. Great.
Absolutely unbelievable.
So did you find it helpful? Or was it different seeing it in this format?
Yeah, it sucked. You wasted your time.
Okay, thank you.